Hi everyone, my name is Nan. I am one of the maid of honors. I forgive you if you butcher my name since it took Amiee only 1 month to say it correctly. 首先我想多謝 Amiee 同埋 Byron 嘅爸爸媽媽交低兩個我嘅好朋友。Thank you. All right. Okay, now English. So Liz, thank you for being my partner in crime as the other maid of honor. I may be standing up here, but she planned the bachelor party and took care of everything else behind the scenes, so thank you for that. So I met Amiee at UC San Diego 10 years ago. She was my best friend in college. We were basically stuck at the hip and two peas of a pod. When we first met, I saw this girl everywhere. All of my biology classes, chemistry classes, tutoring classes, we even volunteered together. It was destiny for us to become friends, or maybe she was just stalking me. Anyway, she complimented me on my colorful Indian skirt, and the rest was history. When I talked to Amiee, she was like someone I've known my whole life. We would never run out of things to talk about. We would see each other during the day and then talk on the phone for 3 hours at night. We would go over the phone bill every month. Our parents were angry and suspicious. My dad asked, "Do you have a boyfriend in the area code 619? No, it's just Amiee. We had to make a pact to call only after peak hours. However, there were days when we couldn't wait until after 9 to talk to each other. Even after moving into the same room and sharing the same bed during senior year, we spent our evenings talking. Even though Amiee would go to sleep before me, she would wake up when I went to bed, and we would talk until 1 or 2 in the morning. I would wake up tired and regret staying up late, but it never stopped us from having our pillow talk at night. I would never take back any of those moments. So even when Amiee and I were in different cities, we would call each other and talk for hours about nothing in particular. I remember telling Amiee that she was my soulmate, and it's too bad that she's not a guy. We told each other at 20 years old that when we turned 30 and not married, we would move in together and have a pet dog named Peristalsis. Well, I'm turning 30 in December. We're only 2 months short, so thanks, Byron. So if you know Amiee, you know that she's a really great friend. She's smart, charming, witty, funny, and mostly has a memory of a goldfish. She's such a great friend to me that even though she was studying in optometry school, she would read my medical application essays, roughly 30 different essays. I was even sick of my own personal statement, but she never complained and was always encouraging and helpful with her comments. And 4 years later, when I applied for residency programs, she again read my personal statement. And in a few years, I'm going to apply for fellowship, so you'll be reading them again. So she's very smart. She worked really hard in college in optometry school and is now deservingly a professor of optometry in Oregon. So I'm so proud of what you've achieved and done. She is charming, witty, and funny. Because of these qualities, it was very easy for her to make friends. It was so easy that she would take credit for introducing friends to me when, in fact, I introduced them to her. And that's Jonas and Tracy. And you know how I said she was very forgetful? It's very contagious also. So we would tell each other the same jokes and the same stories over and over again. But most importantly, I know that if we ever get into any arguments, she would eventually forget about it. Since her memory was so bad, we would make up really clever mnemonics for class. And I was going to insert a funny mnemonic here, but guess what? I forgot. So even with a short-term memory, she always remembers birthdays and things that are important to her friends. There's this time where I lost this really cute keychain, and 1 year later she made it and gave it to me. I can't remember how she met Byron. I'm just kidding. So I remember she told me she met this guy named Byron at tennis, and she goes to weekly dinners with him. It's like, okay. I first met him playing a board game before Sungan. He was quiet and reserved, but he seemed nice. Amiee continued to hang out with him at UCSD, and I kept making fun of her that she had a crush on Byron, but she's like, nah, no, not at all. She always spoke about how smart he is, and that's one quality she really admires about you, Byron. She told me that she and Byron were both going to Berkeley for graduate school, and they were going to move in together. I was like, maybe this friendship's gonna turn into something more. Surprise! They ended up dating. I have to say that their relationship has its ups and downs, but they really worked in their relationship. I've never seen Amiee more happy. Her face lights up when she's with Byron. The Amiee I remember from college ate only cereal, couldn't cook a thing, but after being with Byron, she now bakes bread and cooks meat. So Byron, you are so lucky to be marrying my best friend. I hope you continue to treat her with love, respect, and honesty. Remember to tell her how much you love her and give her a big bear hug for me every day. So Amiee, who would have guessed that two girls in college be a great friend, okay? So Amiee, who would have guessed that two girls in college who would roll out of bed and barely brush their hair before class would look like we do today? We definitely had our hair done today. You make such a beautiful bride. So I will end with this, Amie's favorite word and what word she's used to get this far in life, and the word is hope. So I hope you guys continue to make beautiful furniture together and send me some for my birthday. I hope you show that you love each other every day. I hope you support and appreciate one another. I hope you remember how lucky you guys are to be together. I hope you can laugh with each other. I hope you can look past your imperfections and celebrate what makes the other person special. And I hope you will have a long and happy marriage. So please join me in a toast, now that I got through that. Okay. To Amiee and Byron, and to happily ever after.
Daiga ho, no hi Zach, no hi Byron, gojoy ho pang yao. Doje, dagai gamba, lai cham ga ijo, fun lai. If I didn't butcher that too much, thank you everyone. Thank you everyone tonight for coming to this beautiful wedding. I'm Zach, I'm best man, and I'm incredibly honored to be here to represent and celebrate such a beautiful couple, especially our beautiful bride Amiee here. And Byron, you look okay too. I want to thank first, before I start, my fellow groomsmen, Oscar and Ray, as well as our officiant, Donovan, who helped out a lot with all of the planning of both the wedding, the bachelor party, all of the fun stuff there. So, as we take a moment here to celebrate this beautiful couple, I want to talk a bit about what makes them special as the front view that I had on Byron's life in graduate school. The way that I know Byron is he had the, let's call it, misfortune of being forced to sit next to me for the greater part of 5 years at Berkeley. And I got to see all of the trials and tribulations of the story of how Amiee and Byron came together. So from all of that time, I'm going to share 3 short vignettes that epitomize what makes Amiee and Byron a really special couple and really, really unique. They're centered on 3 themes. Not too bad, don't worry. Friendship, building on each other's strengths, and helping each other through challenges. So first, how you guys got together. I mean, could it be more convenient? You were in the same apartment building. Like, come on, Byron, you could try a little harder than that. The key was not how close they were. It was that before anything, they were friends. They became best friends. The fact that they could be so close before they build that romance and before they build that relationship and fall in love shows that they have an extremely strong foundation, and that you two will be there for each other through thick and thin, no matter what, which is what we all aspire to be in our relationships. Your first dance epitomized that well. You're so lucky to be each other's best friends. So secondly, the strengths coming together. You might think, from what you know about Byron and Amiee, oh, so similar. San Diego, both going to Berkeley grad school, super smart, super successful, super talented, but there are a few differences. So Byron, like all electrical engineers, kind of a nerd, kind of a little, likes to spend some time in the lab, likes to be around machines and electronics. But Amiee is super fun, right? She knows how to have a good time. She knows the culture, the eating, the food. And what's great about the two of you coming together is that you build on each other's strengths. Amiee you bring the food and the excitement to Byron. And Byron, you bring the can-do attitude. You're someone, as someone who sat next to you for four, almost 5 years, you're the guy that I would want on my side through anything. Because I know when something's important to you, you don't let it go. You make sure it's done right. You're there. And so with that, you two will also be there for each other through your steadfast dedicatedness, and Amiee, your love of food and happiness. Okay, so third, the challenges. So you guys have been through a lot together. When you graduated from school, Amiee, you moved down to California, eventually to Arizona. Byron, you moved up to Oregon. You were apart for a while. And to be honest, I think that most of us here thought, the two of you are going to end up together. But how are they going to handle this distance, this long kind of separation apart from each other? And through that, and through all of the trials and tribulations of graduate school, you were there for each other. You brought the best in each other. You brought the friendship. You brought the strengths. And you came together, and you've been through all that. You've been through the challenges. And so now that you are husband and wife, you have that. What these stories all symbolize with Amiee and Byron is this friendship, these challenges building on strengths, that you're going to be such an amazing couple. And I'm so happy to be here to celebrate that. So, paraphrasing the immortal words of Ludacris, Byron, I know you're trying to turn this Amiee Ho into a housewife, and Amiee, you're trying to turn this Byron Ho into a house husband, but you can't. You don't act right. Because you're more than that. You're the best of friends, you complement each other with your strengths, and you have the endurance as soulmates that we all aspire to be, that symbolize the best of what couples are. So, with that, let's all raise our glasses, and I want to say Mazel Tov, cheers, and Yum Sing.
Thank everybody, all the relatives and friends, to come and join us in celebration of Amiee and Byron's wedding. And special thanks to Connie for creating all the menu and attendance place card, and Mrs. Trin Nguyen and her mother for helping to fold all the party favor in front of you, right? Okay, Byron. Here's some advice for you to have a successful marriage that I've come to learn with living with your mom for 32 years. Okay? Be nice to your wife. Always say yes. Reflecting on my own wedding day some 32 years ago, and for those that have attended my wedding, it is just as hot as today, in January 15, some 32 years ago. I'm quite sure this is equally true for you, Byron and Amiee, because on my day, I could hardly remember anything that happened during that day, because we are so busy. So I want to make sure that you remember what I'm going to tell you. So I'm use a little trick. I want to dedicate a piece of music to you so that you can remember this night and the advice you give me when you hear this. Hold your horses. Okay, this is called the Minor in G by Bach. Right? He wrote this for his wife Anna Magdalena, along with a whole notebook of music. They had a very loving and lasting relationship because Bach took time to appreciate his wife and show her how much he he cared for her by writing her all this beautiful music. So, Byron, whenever you hear Bach's music, please remember to show your appreciation to Amiee, okay? And show her how you love her. If you do this, you may end up like Bach and Anna Magdalena, who had 13 kids.